Am I the only person that thinks the new Mario movie is gonna suck?
Yeah, if he was actually a person. Hey guys, it's Dan here, and so we're gonna talk about the new Mario movie. Critics do not want you watching it, and if you're easily offended, then maybe you should go to a different video because I don't care if I'm going to offend you or not. But let's get real here. Why do critics not want us watching the Mario movie? Well, first off, I want to take a look at the scores. We're going to go to Metacritic first, and on Metacritic, they rated the movie a 47. So the critics gave it a 47, but the user score is a 8.6. So it scored fairly well. So again, why would the critics not think the new Mario movie is any good? Well, let's go look at some of these reviews. So if we scroll through the reviews, we'll see people like let's see here. We'll see people like Roger Moore, rated at 25. I wonder why he would rate it at 25. So let's see what he had to say about it. He said, the few laughs kind of die of loneliness in what is allegedly a children's animated comedy. And without laughs, all is ill conceived. Animated replacement for one of the most infamous live action flops of the 90s has to offer in nostalgia for a simple game of a simpler time. So, I guess he's saying it's not funny. It is a kids movie, so I can see why you might not think it's funny. It is Nintendo, and Nintendo's not preferably into the mature stuff. I mean, let's be real here. They're more children friendly, kid friendly. Unlike Disney. I bet if Disney would have wrote this, he would probably be like, oh, 88. But it's not made by Disney, and the movie's not woke enough for critics, because that's the reality of it. They do not think it's woke enough. So let's look a little more at Roger Moore here and see what he likes. So one of his more recent movies that he liked was called Joyland. And he rated Joyland an 88. So what is Joyland about? Let me go find this movie. The youngest son in a traditional Pakistani family takes a job as a backup dancer in Bollywood style burlesque and quickly becomes infatuated with the strong-willed trans woman who runs the show. So, it's a movie about transgender. So, maybe he might be a little woke himself, and that's why he doesn't like the new Mario movie. I can't say for sure, but critics nowadays kind of run to Hollywood. They got things they want to see, and people have to pander to that in order to maybe make a movie a little worse. But it's important to the critics, and good critic scores mean good movies. Well, let's look at another critic score. We got Kimberly Jones, and she rated the movie a 20. That's absurdly low. Even if I picked out all the bad things in the movie, which I watched it yesterday, I still couldn't give it a 20. There was nothing in it that bad or deserving of it. So let's see what she had to say about it. But in going to such great lengths to avoid that film's grim weirdness, the Super Mario Bros. Movie filmmakers have flattened the concept into benign nothingness. They have course corrected into the side of a mountain. There's no heartbeat here. There's no heartbeat. Okay, I mean, Luigi and Mario's story of brothers trying to, please their family. Yeah, that might be a typical story, but we're kind of out of ideas nowadays, to be honest. And overall, for a kid's film, it was good. It had morals and stuff in it. There are issues with it, or the critics' issues is, and this would probably make it score better, is if it was made by Disney and they decide to race swap some characters, make Luigi black or even Hindu, and, maybe add some trans representation in there, and what else would we throw in? A little bit of gay marriage, like Peach is actually a lesbian, so she can't get with Mario. Would that be better? Would that pan better to the critics? Let's see what Kimberly looks like here, anyways. I can see why she didn't like the movie. Just not woke enough for her, She, yeah, I'm done with her. So let's go and see what some of the early people have to say, or other people. So I'm going to butcher this name. John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo? won't watch Super Mario Bros. Movie over the lack of Latin representation. So if you don't know who he is, he's one of the original actors who played Luigi in the 1993 live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie. And what did he have to say? So he said he's not going to watch it because of the lack of representation. And let's see here. So, the lack of Latin representation. Well, Mario is Italian, and Luigi's Italian, but originally this was made in Japan. Mario is a Japanese thing. So, do you really need Latin representation in there? I mean, just enjoy the film for what it is. I mean, you don't have to have representation. The characters themselves are Italian, so therefore they're representing Italians. If you have another actor who's Italian who's playing it the same exact way and has the same script, it's not representing anyone. It's just a film. You don't need to adjust it. The character's already going to be Italian. It's a Japanese freaking game from Japan. So, let's see here. So, as far as it goes, though, I think that, honestly, the reason why the movie is not rated higher is because it's not woke. Like, Bud Light. Let's plaster a Bud Light ad in the movie with Dylan Mullaney or whatever his name is, and there we go. Now the movie's rated 10 out of 10. People want to push a certain political agenda into all forms of media. And not that I'm against anything like that. Like, I'm all for being yourself, living your true life, and being who you want to be. But you don't have to inject it into movies in order to be who you want to be. Just be who you want to be. And you definitely don't need to put it into children's films where children see this trying to impression our kids, because we know that's what Hollywood wants to do. They want to impression our kids. They're trying to segregate our kids. They're trying to push everything away. Like, we was taught back in the day not to see color. Now they're trying to teach kids to only see color. But, the movie lacks representation, so it sucks. What can I say? I mean, honestly, I watched it. I thought it was a good movie. But you know what? Some people would be like, well, of course you thought it was a good movie. And I did. I read another review the other day, which they said the movie kind of went too fast. And honestly, I thought the pacing was pretty decent. Like, it went by at a good pace. It never felt too slow or too fast to me. Things was happening at a good beat. If it would have been any slower, honestly, I would have probably been bored to death. And then that would be a movie parents would hate, as you see in some of the headlines. But I think it's a good movie for parents to take their children to and watch and, live some nostalgia. The movies show tons of references to different Mario games in the series, including Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and all that. But, yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments and tell me if you like the movie, if you think I'm way off basis here. Just, feel free to comment down below. You can say anything you want. It's an open comment, so I'm not going to get offended. Everybody discuss everything as freely as you want, and just try to be nice and kind to one another. But other than that, it's a good movie. See ya!